to Untitled Tarot, and today I'll be looking for Capricorns, okay? So this is for any placement of Cap you have in your chart. If you do, great. If you don't, great as well. You probably have a message in here for you, so keep an ear out, okay? And if you are a cross-watcher, I welcome you with open arms because heaven knows I was a cross-watcher for many a video myself, so I get you and I got you. Now I'll mention the deck I use is Radleigh Valentine's Fairy Tarot deck. Then I'll also mention when it's time for you to utilize your intuition instead of relying on just mine. And with that being said, let's get into your cards. Well, our cards, because I have like 3 placements of Cappy in my chart. So we start off with the Prince of Summer, who is a very, not fleeting, but more like romantic, captivating, emotional. This is the Knight of Cups, right? So he falls in love suddenly. He is swept off his, I'm saying he because that's the gender on this card, but don't rely on the gender, rely on the energy, okay? It says being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience, right? Which is followed by the Hermit card. Hermit, which is a Virgo energy, which is Earth sign, which is you being grounded. It talks of find or be a mentor. Take a break from society, commitment to your spiritual growth. So what is it that, like, I guess something needs to be more refined or delved into deeper here, because if you don't, you might feel the 5 of Pentacles or 5 of Autumn. Now that talks of reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for career change, feeling challenged by money issues. So basically find a mentor in order for you to be better so that you know what to do better in regards to whatever it is you're working on. And what they will probably tell you is go within to figure out what your next step is. Yeah, with the 4 of Winter, which is the 4 of Swords in this deck. Then you'll be like caught between head and your heart decision at this point, because you have the 2 of Winter, which means that you'll be stuck between 2 ideas, right? Which will demand a lot of strength on your part to make a final decision with the Strength card, which is Leo energy. Then you have the Prince of Winter, which would be the Knight of Swords. Now the Knight of Swords, well, the Prince of Winter talks of is an intellectual, determined, focused, and impulsive individual. So you have 2 knights, you have 2 princes, which means that the first one is the Prince of Summer, who is very emotional, while the second one is more intellectual and caught up in his mind. But at least there's like a build up to something, right? But that build up will allow you or someone you're dealing with to tap into your 9 of Pentacles, which is the 9 of Autumn in this deck, which talks of reward yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, cherishing your time alone. Yep. Yeah. Now for the second set, you have the 9 of Spring, which talks of protect the fruit of your labor, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead, environmental conservation. So maybe maybe you might feel like you have some battle ahead against, I don't know what, but something is going to feel like a chore or something that you need to protect. But that thing that you feel like you need to protect is what brings you your happiness. And so which will lead you to a completion of a cycle with the world, right? So I said which brings you to your happiness because you have the Sun card, which is the happiest card in tarot. Then you have the World, which talks of completion, okay? Now once you complete a cycle, you will find that you will have difficulty with others, especially those who aren't on the same, how should I say, who aren't understanding your perspective, and sometimes you feel like there's opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself and or others, overly ambitious people, right? My idea is better than yours is generally the consensus when people have a little disagreement, to the point where I think it's just going to be a healthy a healthy discussion, right? More like play, so one does not want to necessarily abolish someone else. It feels more like, it's just in French we say tirage. I don't know if it's the best thing, but the idea that came to my mind is more like, it's a give and take. It's like a to and fro of ideas and concepts is what came to my mind, like a tug of war in a sense. Yes. And I also got another, it's like they're preparing for life. Minnow Pond was talking about that, and I found that was very good analogy. Then you have the Four of Spring. Now the Four of Spring talks of a happy home, a happy loving relationship, like the best happy home, happy life, happy wife, happy family type of ideal, right? So that misunderstand or that healthy discussion will lead to a happy, thriving home, which will allow you to create more with the Empress, because the Empress is creative in nature, right? She created a child. She is now creating a happy home with her family and stuff. Then you have the Ten of Summer. So that creation, that process of creation, is going to bring you much happiness and emotional contentment. Now, for the third set, you have the Six of Spring, which talks of an absolute brilliant success, where you will feel like you will be unified to the group that you want to unify with. Now, this is the Hierophant. Alright, so it says compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you, and you saw which worked for you, and now you're sticking to that which works for you, because you feel like this group is going to give you equally, not just take from you, which will then lead to you becoming awakened about something in particular, right? In this deck it's called the Awakening, but it's actually the Hanged Man. As you can see, he is in reverse, right? Then you have the Princess of Winter, who is the Lightworker, empath, witch, druid, whatever you would like to identify with. It's basically the one who has awakened sixth sense, right? Or has awakened their sixth sense. Now, the fourth set starts off with the Ego card, which is the Devil card in this deck, which talks of illusions of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear or worry, because this is a new cycle, you don't know how it works, and maybe you don't have like a mentor yet, so you're kind of like in between things. But I can assure you that things will smoothen out with the Six of Winter, which is the Six of Swords. Then once they smooth out, once they calm down, you will definitely be able to reach the Nine of Summer, which is the Nine of Cups, which talks of wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, the magical time of life. It's basically contentment, right? Then you have the Princess of Spring. Now, the Princess of Spring is the Page of Wands in this deck. It says, optimistic, enthusiastic, and creative, energetic individual. It's time to go after your dreams, because you definitely have the ability to do so, because now you're emotionally content, you can do this. Then you have the Princess of Summer. So the Princess of Summer is a gentle, sensitive, kind, and inexperienced